words. You already know what the hell they're saying. You could turn.
Yeah.
You can watch the Law and Order show without the sound. Follow it completely.
Across the United States of America have been grounded due to a glitch with the Federal Aviation Administration's computer system. And this has been reported by the US media. The FAA, which is the Federal Aviation Administration, has confirmed that the United States notice to air mission system has failed. Rishabh has some more details for us. Yes, Rishabh, take us through them. Well, let me go back once again to Rishabh. Rishabh, take us through what's actually caused the grounding of all flights in the United States due to the failure of the system there.
So what we know right now that there is a computer outage that has been reported by Federal Aviation Administration, and this has resulted in cancellation and grounding of almost all flights nationwide in the United States. Remember, there is a centralized system in the United States that look into all the technicalities of, be it navigation, be it parking, or be it direction of flights, and that computer system has, faced an outage and resulting into grounding of all the flights. It will take some time before or the flight gets back to normal, but for now, it's a major glitch, a major computer outage resulting into grounding of almost all flights in the United States.
And Rishabh, from what we gather, the system is called the NOTAM, which is the United States Notice to Air Missions. And this actually serves the function of informing pilots of circumstances related to state of flying and are needed before a plane can actually take off. So this particular system, which is absolutely critical for planes to take off or land, has now in fact completely collapsed, and the engineers are working towards restoring that system. Is that accurate?
Definitely. If you see, it is called Air Traffic Control System Command Center that is in general look into landing or taking off of the plane, which basically gives direction at what altitude one plane will start descending, at what latitude and longitude the plane should be directed towards for taking the certain runway, and also at what time shall the plane start descending and taking off. And these are the nuances when it comes to for a flight to take off or land, and that system is facing an outage, and that's the reason that any plane right now cannot take off till the glitch is not solved.
And Rishabh, the United States is some of the world's busiest airports in terms of air traffic. So there'll be complete chaos at the airports because of this.
Definitely, people are given the air traffic that the United States has, which is for the viewers in India, US air traffic is multiplied by 60 of what we have in India right now. For example, the amount of people that we see at Indira Gandhi Airport is 1/6 of what you'll see at Newark Airport or Washington DC Airport. And given the outage, given the cancellation of flights, be it internal or international flights, there is definitely an utter chaos right now. And almost every airport, people are waiting, a few inside the cabin as well, because they were seated for the takeoff when this outage happened. And now airlines are actually figuring out how to channelize these passengers to ensure that there is no further crowding or chaos at the terminal.
And one more question, Rishabh. It appears that the authorities themselves have absolutely no idea as to how long this might take to resolve. I'm reading a notice on the FAA website. It says technicians are currently working to restore the system, and there is no estimate for restoration of service at this time. Since then, no new NOTAMs or amendments have been processed. So we don't yet know how long this might take to resolve.
Definitely, NOTAMs or any clear message have not come in. The authorities are still figuring out whether it's a cyber attack or it's a glitch or it is some coding issue within the system. So till the time that the authorities themselves are clear, it is going to take some time to figure out whether it is an hour or 2 hour or a day long issue that needs to be solved. So we'll have to wait and see how to develop. But till the things develop, there is an utter chaos at airports like Los Angeles, airports like New York, as well as Washington, D.C. and Atlanta.
And
That's crazy. It just sounds really crazy to me. Like that's a major F up. Like they don't have backup systems for this. So one little glitch or whatever it is, coding error or whatever the hell it is gonna down the flights all across the United States. Like that is crazy to me. Like y'all don't have no backup systems. Y'all don't have nothing in place to deal with this in case something happens.
That is how delicate a lot of our infrastructure is. Why do you think that I get aggravated when they're throwing all this green energy and all these emission things and stuff like that when we've got roads that need to be done, we got pipes that need to be done. Hell, here in Houston, they're requesting $80 million to expand the ship channel. I mean, and that's needed. And you can't tell me that Galveston didn't need to build up the seawall a little bit more. You can't tell me that, all this area on this side that got flooded needs a little bit of work again.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
we need to get to these drain offs and clean some of the debris and the dirt and the trees and stuff out of them so they actually work again.
Yeah, that's one thing, but I mean, and I agree with you on that. We talked about the water systems for a long time on the show, one of the other shows, but this is kind of different because it's a computer issue. Like that, it just doesn't. It sounds really fishy to me. Like y'all don't have no backup systems, or you don't have a backup whatever to be able to deal with it if the system goes down. Shouldn't you have some kind of backup system?
Of course, there are redundant systems and things like that. That's why I'm thinking that it's a lot more than what we're being told.
That's my point. I think they're lying. I don't think it's true. I mean, not to say that like there was a computer glitch that's true about that. I don't think they're being honest about. Well, I don't think they're being honest about what is causing this and what's the real problem. And I would go as far as to say that maybe this has to do with, like I say, the COVID lockdowns and so forth and so on. Just another way to exhort their power. It's like the being able to just tell y'all, no, y'all not flying nowhere, y'all not going nowhere right now, like and getting us used to this like totalitarian type of thing where no international flights, no domestic flights, like sit down and be still for a while, like because we say so. The caption, it says thousands of people remain stranded across airports in the United States as all flights in the country remain grounded due to computer outage. All the flights remaining grounded due to a computer outage. That sounds fishy to me. A couple comments. It says, I think it's hackers. I think it is a hacker attack. I saw something that said that it's not that they don't think it's that. And I think that if it was a hack, then they would have said that right off the top.
No, they do not want the American people to know how vulnerable our systems are. I'm serious. If people knew how fragile our power system was, our nuclear system, all that, they would be afraid. Hackers have been ransomwaring and shutting stuff down for the last couple of years, especially. And you'll see little mentions of it here and there, but nothing ever big enough.
Nothing how could a hacker shut down the whole system across the United States? I could see it being localized. I just can't see it being the whole freaking system.
How can a simple glitch affect every single?
That's why I don't. That's why I don't. That's why I don't. I don't believe it.
Question is, what was going on why did they need to keep? What were they doing when they needed to keep the planes down?
Yeah, exactly. What is really going on? Let me read a couple comments. This one is
I'm thinking the aliens and stuff like that might have been doing a close Passover, and we're not supposed to be as advanced as we look, so they wanted to keep all that air flight travel down. Just a theory. I am a science fiction fantasy game writer, so
yeah,
I have to do stuff like that.
That seems pretty extreme or whatever, but I wouldn't put nothing past this. I mean, I don't know. It could be whatever it is. It's not what they're saying.
I am a firm believer that we are being visited by other cultures, let's say, and I also have a feeling that they think we are absolutely batshit crazy, and they are here just filming us, watching us, and we're just like some big crazy reality show off in the big galactic hub.
I like to think of it like that. I really do like to think that we're being watched and
keeping up with the Earthlings.
Yeah, I think that would be the nicest reality show you could come up with.
I mean, they're such a crazy people. They actually named their planet Dirt.
I think it would be a cool ass reality show for aliens. This comment, it says first episode of Scorpion. I don't know what they're talking about there. Another comment, it says this must be the work of artificial intelligence. Another comment, it says Chinese did it. What are they saying there? Another comment, it says China's new toolkit cyber attack that country is at a thorn to this world. Oh, they're trying to say that China is the one who did the cyber attack. Okay. Another comment, it says the terminal part 2. Another comment, it says can't read that. It's not in English. Let's see. They got hidden comments. This one, it says, I lost my job. I thought I've lost it all. With the little cash of 2,000 euro, Miss Oksani turned that into 9,000 euros in just 7 days. He may not know what it says. He may not know, but he's really has saved my life. I have no idea what they're talking about there. That was probably a bot. There's one more clip of this. I don't know if it's going to be relevant because it seems like they covered it pretty good. The India channel that did that. But here it is right here. It says, FAA orders temporary nationwide pause on all domestic flights following computer failure. The FAA has ordered a nationwide pause on all domestic departures until 9 a.m. on Wednesday morning, following a computer failure that has impacted flights around the country. This comment, it says, have they tried unplugging their modem and plugging it in again?
Hey, I wonder what was happening over at the East Coast for that Amtrak line. They didn't want them to see nothing that was passing through that area either.
Interesting.
I mean, that's a whole lot of planes. Like I said, there's a whole lot of planes on the ground. I wonder why. Why is it wanted for plane travel to stop? Isn't that really going to kick emissions up a little bit because of all the car travel we're going to have to be doing?
Well, they talk about the airplanes being one of the biggest emitters of it.
But if you divide that by the number of people traveling to the different destinations, does the individual carbon footprint equal out to other forms of transit that they would all have to take?
Yeah, I think it would actually go down because maybe people would be taking trains, and a lot of people are just stuck in airports.
Well, no, you don't really want to take a train right now either. Well, remember, I sent you that link about Amtrak. They were stuck for 30 hours.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I just sent you about 6 or 8 links, just barraged you real quick with a whole bunch of like, whoa.
Yeah, I got the notifications. I'm gonna click on some of them.
Yeah, some of it. I mean, that's not meant to all be tonight. I mean, if you want to space that out or have that as fillers.
Well, we mentioned. You mentioned a couple of those that I kind of wanted to touch on because I didn't know about them.
Right. Well, like I say, you could do this over a couple of days too.
This comment, it says domestic only. I guess it doesn't apply once flights are out of our airspace. This is possibly a cyber attack. This one, it says they're not telling us something. That's what I'm saying. And this one, it says Southwest.
Both of us are saying we're not telling us something. I mentioned cyber attack. It's not a very difficult. Oh yeah, Scorpion was a TV show that was on like 2014. They were like a special super cyber squad to do stuff, and in their pilot episode, there was a cyber attack on the domestic on the domestic air traffic control grid. That's what he was referring earlier in that one.
Okay, that clears that up. This comment, it says Southwest 2.0. So that's interesting too, because I couldn't help but to think about that too, because in the news it was recently the stuff that was going on with Southwest and all the people.
So incremental version of the cyber attack. They got into Southwest. Bam. Okay. See, we got an individual airline. Now let's see if we can shut the whole thing down.
How much can we get away with? And that's what I'm thinking.
Can't say this is what happens. It is a conspiracy theory, but that is the way it starts. You do little small attacks on small things like booking, reservations, things like that, and then bam, you get into their big grid. Now you're in there. Now you've found a way. Their stuff has to communicate with what's going on the main grid. Now that you've found your way in, you've got your step into the next level of the cybersecurity and stuff like that. That's like Texas's power grid is not connected with the rest of the United States. Some people are saying that's good. Some people are saying it's bad. What it does mean, though, is if there's a massive cyber attack that shuts down the national power grid, Texas is still going to have power.
In Chicago. Hi, Juan.
Hi, Amy, and welcome to all of our listeners and viewers across the country and around the world.
Well, Peruvian authorities have declared an overnight curfew in parts